Hello students, today I am going to explain the chapter The Merchant of Venice. Let us start from the dialogues. This is a scene, Venice, a court of justice. And you all know that Antonio had taken loan from Shylock who was a Jew, and he was unable to return the loan. That's why according to the bond, Antonio now he was standing for the trial and he would have to pay with a pound of his flesh to Shylock. Now, Duke, who was trying to save Antonio, the Duke says, "Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then it's thought thou show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent quality. And where thou now extracts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touchest with human gentleness and love. Forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, enough to press a royal merchant down. We all expect a gentle answer due. Here, the Duke was trying to change Shylock's mind by requesting him, and saying that he was saying, "It is everyone's opinion, Shylock, and it is mine also, that you only intend to keep up this show severity and hatred until it has gone as far as possible, and then at the last moment you intend to relent an amazing steel than your present appearance of unrelenting malice. Insisting on the payment of forfeit, the flesh of this unfortunate man, you will not only let him off this payment, but will generously forgive him part of his money debt to you. His losses have been so heavy and have come so thick and fast upon him lately that they have been enough to ruin even a merchant prince." So indirectly, the Duke was trying to request Shylock to forgive Antonio and let him free from this bond, from this contract. Now, Shylock, he was adamant. What he said, just listen to it. "I have possessed your grace of what I suppose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodge had hate and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?" Now listen to what he said. "I have already informed your lordship of my intentions. I have taken an oath to extract the penalty of the bond. If you refuse to let the law be carried out, then your city's reputation will suffer. You wish to know why I prefer a pound of flesh to a handsome sum of money. I am not obliged to say why I do so. But suppose it is because I have a fancy for it." So here he was saying that he was just expressing his views that he was not going to change his mind. Now Antonio, what he was saying, listen to it. "I pray you, think you question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and beat the main flood, bait his unusual height. You may as well use question with the wolf why he hath made the ewe bleed for the lamb, as seek to soften that, then which what's harder? His heart, therefore, I do beseech you, make no more of us, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment and the Jew his will." So here and Antonio is trying to say that, I'm just coming to it. He was saying that pleading to this person Shylock, it was just meaningless. Because why he said so? He was saying, remember, I beg that, he was saying this to the Duke. I beg that you are arguing with a Jew. If you are hoping to soften his heart, you might with equal success take up your position on the seashore and issue orders to the ocean deeps, waves, forbidden them to advance to their accustomed place. Or you might hope to argue with a beast of prey which has just devoured its victim, or expect that the tall pines on the hillside would be able to endure silently and without motion and the onslaughts of the goal. In short, you may as soon expect to accomplish an impossibility as to be able to cause any feeling of mercy. So, Antonio was trying to say that just pleading to Shylock was just like telling to the waves not to raise high, and just pleading to the wolf not to eat animals. So it's meaningless. So he was requesting the Duke not to plead for him not to plead for him. Let him face his trial and let the Jew receive what he is willing to get. Then Bassanio, for thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6. Bassanio, he came up with 6,000 ducats, means the double amount of the original money. Shylock, what he said, what judgment shall I dread doing, where in 6 parts and every part A ducat, I would not draw them, I would have my bond. So he was negating, he was saying, no, I am not ready to receive the money, I want to have my bond. Duke, then the Duke is saying, how shall thou hope for mercy rendering none? You, then the Duke was little bit angry. His word says that he is saying, you are not showing mercy to anyone, then how can you expect mercy from others? You cannot expect mercy from others also. Okay. Now, Shylock, what judgment shall I dread doing so no wrong? The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly brought. It's mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fie upon your law. Fie upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it? So, Shylock was saying, I have not done any mistake. It's according to the bond only, according to the agreement between me and Antonio, that I must get the pound of flesh. And if you are not willing to do justice, then it's really you will be looked down upon. Fie upon your law means then you are not following the law. You will be guilty of not following the law. There is no force and decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. He was saying, I only stand for judgment. So now tell me whether I will get justice or not. Duke, upon my power I may dismiss this court unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for for to determine this, came here today. Now Duke was saying that he can dismiss the court as he was waiting for. I can dismiss this assembly by my own authority, but I will see whether the lawyer Bellario, a man of most excellent learning and wisdom, whom I have asked to come and try this case, will arrive today or not. Then Nerissa, Nerissa, the maid of Portia. No, not this part. Yes. Then, it's just a minute. My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. Okay. Now see who is, yeah, it's Salerio. My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua. So from Padua, he is informing that, Your Highness, someone has just arrived from Padua with a message from Bellario. This is and he is standing outside the court. Now Duke is saying, bring us the letter, call the messenger. So Duke is allowing him to bring the messenger inside. Bassanio then says, good cheer, Antonio, what man courage yet! The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all. Before, ere means before thou shalt lose for me one drop of blood. So it's a friendly speech by Bassanio. He is saying, have courage. He is saying to Antonio, have courage. Do not lose hope. Yet, my dear Antonio, I'll give my own flesh to the greedy Shylock and my whole body too, before he shall have your life. Okay. Now Antonio is saying, I am a tainted weather of the flock, meetest for death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot better be employed, Bassanio, than to leap still and write mine epitaph. Now, this is Antonio who was saying that ripest or the fruit, weakest fruit falls from the tree. No, so it's my turn. Let me die without further ado. My honor is stained. I am bankrupt and disgraced like a diseased creature. I am only fit to be taken out of the herd and slaughtered. I am like the worthless fruit that drops from the tree and rots quickly. I will be a fitting task for you, my friend, to continue to live and compose the inscription on my tomb. Epitaph means the praising words to be written on my grave or tomb. Then enters Nerissa dressed like a lawyer's clerk. This is drama within a drama. Okay, Nerissa came as a lawyer's clerk. Nerissa, she was the maid of Portia. Okay, now Duke came you from Padua from Bellario? You are the messenger from Bellario, Nerissa. From both my lord, Bellario greets your grace, presenting a letter. So these are only, she said, from both my lord, Bellario greets your grace. Now she hands in the letter. Duke, this letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he? Now this letter says, Bellario's this letter says that a young doctor has come. Where is the doctor? Doctor here means a lawyer. Okay. Then Portia. Where is he? Then Portia. Of a strange nature is the suit you follow. No, 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 not this. I'm doing a mistake. Yes, this. Nerissa. He attendeth here hard by to know your answer whether you will admit him. Now Nerissa is saying, yes, he is standing only. He is waiting for your permission to enter the room. Okay. Now the Duke, with all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you go and give courteous conduct to this place. Okay. Now the Duke is saying, yes, Duke is saying or allowing Portia means disguised as a doctor of law to enter the room. Now see, yes. Enter Portia dressed like a doctor of law. Now this is the Portia is entering the room just like a lawyer. Okay. Duke, give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario? Yes, this is just a formality. They were shaking hands and then he was asking, Bellario sent you here? Portia, I did, my lord. Yes, yes, it's by Bellario sent me to you. Okay. Now, I did, my lord. Then Duke is saying, you are welcome, take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court? Now Duke was asking Portia Do you know what happened actually here? We are delighted that you have come. You will now take up your position in the court. Do you understand the case which is now before the court? So it was asked by Duke. Portia, I am informed thoroughly of the cause, which is the merchant here and which is the Jew. So Portia was saying, it has been thoroughly explained to me. Which of these people is Antonio and which one is Shylock? She was asking. Actually, she was disguised as a man and as a lawyer. Duke, Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth. So he was saying both of them, Antonio and Shylock, to stand in front of Portia. Is your name Shylock? Portia was asking. Are you Shylock? Shylock. Shylock is my name. Yes, my name is Shylock. Then Portia. Of its strange nature is the suit you follow. Yet, in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed, you stand within his danger, do you not? It is not, it is most unusual plea which you bring before the court, but it is quite legal, and the law cannot in strictness oppose you in it. You, Antonio, are in his power. I believe so. Antonio, so he says, yes, it is. Portia, do you confess the bond? Portia was asking to Antonio. Do you confess that you yourself entered in this agreement? Antonio says, yes, I do, I do. Portia, then must the Jew be merciful. Then she was pleading to the Jew. She was saying, then Shylock must have compassion on you. That is your only hope. Otherwise, you will not be released. Shylock, oh, what compassion must I? Tell, tell me that. Shylock quickly he answered, "Who- And who can compel me to have mercy on him? Why should I? Why should I have mercy on him?" Then Portia was saying, Portia, the quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It's mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptre's sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is a tribute to God Himself. And earthly power do then show likest gods. So, what is the meaning of Portia's speech? Just let me explain it. She was saying that it is very nature of mercy that it does not act under constraint or any compulsion. It is a free and gracious gift, blessings those upon whom it is shed as the grateful showers refresh the earth. It has a twofold power, and double blessing accompanies its exercise, benefiting both giver and receiver, the giver of mercy and receiver of mercy. Its effect is greatest when exercised by the great and powerful, and even a sovereign's might and majesty are enhanced by deeds of mercy, which shed upon him a brighter luster than his royal position can bestow. Means those who show mercy, they also receive praise, respect, and become more brighter. The outward symbols of his power only inspire dread. Kings, people are afraid of kings, no? Because of their power. They are merely the signs or symbols of earthly authority, but mercy's throne is in the king's soul, exalted far above all earthly value. And mercy is a thing of heart, and by this you will prove yourself as a human being. Okay, It is divine quality, and the better an earthly ruler knows how to soften the stern decrees of justice by kind acts of compassion, the more nearly does the approach to the divine nature of the King of Kings. Actually, those who are real perfect kings, they only believe in this quality of mercy. It's a great virtue. Okay. When mercy seasons justice, therefore, due through justice be thy plea. Consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there. So Portia was trying to change mind of Shylock. She was saying, she was indirectly trying to say to forgive Antonio and show mercy. In return, he will also get mercy only. He will be honored. She was saying to Shylock. But if you do not do that, then we have to what judgment? Judgment will be then against the person Antonio. Shylock, my deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond. So Shylock, he was quite adamant. He was saying that I am quite ready to take the consequences of my own acts. I demand justice, the carrying out of the bond. Just do it. I know that if I am not showing mercy, I will not get mercy, but I am quite ready to take the consequences of my own act. I demand justice and the carrying out of the bond. Portia, is he not able to discharge the money? Now Portia is asking, Antonia is not able to give the money or pay the money? Bassanio, yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yes, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times over, on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, I must appear that malice bears down truth, and I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority, do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will. Now Basania was saying, yes, I am ready to pay the money, twice the sum I am ready to pay. Even I am ready to pay the 10 times the amount of the original, 10 times more than the original amount. But if that is also cannot satisfy this cruel person Shylock, then there is something tricky. Okay, then he was trying to convince Persia by saying that, and I pledge myself to pay the amount half a score times. If he refuses this, then it will be plainly seen that this suit is only pressed forward from pure spite, and it's something ill there. And let me beg of you, sir, to stretch the law a little aside for once. The great good you will do will far outweigh the slight outweigh this evil person. He is having a evil mind, and do something and just saved my friend. He was appealing, Bassanio was appealing to Portia, who was disguised as a lawyer. Portia, it must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. It will be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be. As Bassanio was pleading her to change the rules and somehow to save his friend, so Portia said, no, 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 it cannot be done. Law is law. We cannot change it. That cannot be done. No authority in power enough to set aside the laws of the land. If it were done once, it would completely change the total system. It would probably lead to many more difficulties in near future. So it cannot be done. Shylock said. Then Shylock felt, he just felt like that someone very important came to rescue, or just be on behalf, on his side someone is pleading. Portia, he just found in Portia a friend who was support. He thought that Portia was actually supporting him. So Shylock commented that a Daniel came to judgment. Yeah, a Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee. Okay. Now, who was Daniel? Daniel was a impartial judge. Okay. So, Shylock was praising Portia and saying that a marvelous young judge, as wise as Daniel. How I reverence you, learned youth. Now Portia was saying, I pray thou let me look upon the bond. So just let me have a look on the bond. Shylock, here it is, most revered doctor, here it is. So Shylock is completely moved. He was thinking that he will receive what he was willing. So he was ready with the bond. Portia, Shylock, there is thrice thy money offered thee. Shylock, three times the original amount is already offered to you. Shylock, an oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice. Then he was just saying that I have vowed, I have taken oath, I shall, that I will have the forfeit. Do you think I can break my oath? No, not for any state. I cannot do it. Portia, why this bond is forfeit? And lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off, nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice the money, bid me tear the bond. Now Portia was pleading to the Jew, to Shylock, saying, you receive the money, you accept the money, and let me allow to tear this bond. What is the use of this bond? It is something cruel. Shylock then said, when it is paid according to the tenor, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You you know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond. So Shylock was adamant. He was saying, yes, when it has been fulfilled according to what is written there. You know plainly by your learned explanation and just decision that your knowledge of the law is very sound. I therefore demand the law which you uphold so worthily. I am saying that I vow most solemnly that no one can change my decision. I take my stand on the agreement. So Shylock was completely adamant. Antonio, most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment. Then Antonio was completely, he was not liking the situation. He was saying, I request you all, I beg that the sentence may be pronounced and just start the trial and punish me. Portia. Why then? Thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for this knife. Okay, then you get ready to give a pound of flesh from your chest. Shylock, oh, noble judge, oh, excellent young man. Shylock was praising Portia, disgraced as a lawyer. Portia, for the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeared due upon the bond. So, Portia was saying, this then is the sentence. You must be ready for the penalty, and this penalty for the provisions of the law are clearly applicable to this case. So we can apply law here. It's clear, and nothing in the, everything is clear in front of us. As it stands, here is the agreement, and it is written in the agreement only. Shylock, it is very true. O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy look. So Shylock is completely moved by Portia's words, and he was praising Portia and saying that you look much old, your means your decisions are much older, means very experienced you are. And he was praising Portia. Okay, then yes, Portia, therefore lay bare your bosom, so get ready, Shylock. Ay, his breast, so says the bond, doth it not noble just, nearest his heart? Those are the very words, Shylock. Okay, from nearest heart, it is written in the agreement, no, that I have to take out the flesh, or I have to cut the flesh from nearest of his heart. Okay, so that means inevitable death. Portia, tarry a little. When Shylock was ready to cut the flesh from Antonio's chest, then Portia said, tarry a little, wait a moment. This bond doth give thee here no, no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands goods are by the law of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice. Now Portia is saying the real thing. I have more yet to say. In this agreement, there is no mention whatever of any blood. So it's only a pound of flesh. So you can only take a pound of flesh from his chest, but not a drop of blood. Okay, it is your right according to the agreement, but if it is the process of obtaining the flesh, you cause the blood of a Christian citizen to be shed, then all your wealth and possessions are forfeited to the government. For so it is enacted in the Venetian law. Gratiano. Then they were feeling little bit relieved. Gratiano says, "Oh, upright judge, mark Jew, oh, learned judge." He started praising Portia. Gratiano was a friend of Bassanio and Antonio. Shylock, is that the law? Shylock was surprised. He was asking, is it in the law? Portia, thyself shalt see the act, for as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest. Now Portia is saying, yes, yes, it is in the bond only, and you only said that you want justice, isn't it? So you will get justice. You will be given justice only. Don't worry. So Portia was now going to teach a lesson to Shylock. Okay. Shylock, I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go. So now Shylock, he is changing his tune. He is changing his dialogue. He is saying, okay, okay, then let me have the money. Three times the amount, more the amount from the original one. Whatever the original amount, if you give three times extra money of that, I'm ready to accept it and let the Christian go. So he was ready to release Antonio from the agreement. Portia, he shall have nothing but the penalty. He shall have nothing but the penalty. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou cuttest more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scalpel, nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated. Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture. Now Portia was saying, okay, okay, we will be doing justice to you. You cut the pound of flesh from his chest, but not more, not less. Exact 1 pound of flesh. and without blood. You have to take it. Okay. And if you are not able to do so, then your all wealth will be confiscated by the government, by the king. Okay. So by the state. Shylock, give me my principal and let me go. Now Shylock is not willing to get even the three times more than the original amount. He is saying only give me back my principal money. That with that I will go back. Then Bassanio, I have it ready for thee. Here it is. Bassanio is saying, yes, yes, you can take the amount. I have kept it ready and you take it. This was said by Bassanio. Then Shylock, Portia is saying, he hath refused it in the open court, he shall have merely justice and his bond. Now Portia is not ready to allow Shylock to take that amount also. She said that only in front of everyone he refused to take the receive or accept the money. So how can he now take it? He will not be taking. He shall have justice now, and he will get his bond only. Shylock, shall I not have barely my principal? I will not get barely the original amount of my money also. So Shylock was really, he understood that now he will be facing trouble. He will be not receiving even the principal amount of money also. Portia, thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture to be so taken at thy peril due. So, Portia is lastly saying that you will not get anything, only you will have to face the penalty for your deed. So, this is the analysis or the explanation of the chapter. So, at last, Portia, she just saved life of Antonio, and I hope you have understood. Read the chapter, read the dialogues and go through the explanation. It will help you to understand. Thank you, students.